everyone. How is everyone this week? Tonight we're going to be talking about urban legends from around the world. I find this subject really interesting. So while I'm sharing, I'll let the guys talk among themselves. How's everyone's week been?
Rubbish.
Yeah, well,
Why?
yeah, I've done a lot of rubbish moving today. Yeah, last day of school, as you can imagine, the staff have had a good clear out.
Oh, so what's been wrong with you, Bri, that you've had a rubbish week?
Because everywhere I've done plenty of driving, I've been enjoying that, getting out, but everywhere I've been, it's been a no-go. I went out to that old Boer. It's like a Tudor-style abandoned hotel. And I've seen a few people do it, but I gets there and it's all fenced off and the security and lot. I'm thinking, shit. So I didn't get to do it. Never mind. There'll be others. So I took a few pictures of a couple of castles in the area. But I couldn't get in one of them because there was a wedding happening. I thought, that's not fair. And other one were outside of a bloody mountain, so there's no way I could walk up that. And they wanted £8. £8 for privilege of having to walk. I says, where's my golf cart?
They probably went, cheeky bastard, you're not getting one.
So I weren't happy, you know what I'm saying? So now that's the reason. It's like everything's gone tits up, but never mind. It is what it is.
What about you, Mr. Thompson? How's your week been?
Really good, actually. I got a lot of work done in the last couple of days.
Yes, REM pods.
Mm-hmm.
They've been coming along.
Yeah, I'm putting out a few of the circuit boards, but like this one. But, I had enough to finish, so that was great.
So you'll be happy then?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to say a few hellos. Hi, Sarah Louise. Hey, Mort. Hey, Rita. And Rita's jazz hands. So everywhere in the world you get an urban legend. I think the one that stands out to me is an Indian village one, where it was seemingly abandoned overnight and no one knows why. Guys, I'm going to have to go there now because there's my door 2 seconds. All right, Steve is going to get it. So seemingly abandoned overnight. Nobody knows why. Though there's a few eerie theories. Don't ask me how to pronounce it because I'd be slaughtering the place. But it dates back to the 13th century. But no one had lived there since 1825 when all the residents just up one day and vanished. According to local law, 1,000 villagers completely abandoned their home overnight without a trace. No one knows why they left, where they went, or even saw them leave. Theories to why they've left range from poisoned wells to a greedy ruler, high taxes, dwindling water supply, though none of those explained why the inhabitants left so suddenly. You might even wonder why nobody even moved into the town to resettle. It's apparently said that the village chief cursed the land. Anyone who apparently tries to live there will die. The Indian Paranormal Society spent a night there and reported hearing whispers, screams, noises. Many of the members have witnessed apparitions, heard footsteps, experienced unusual touch and so on. So there's one for you guys.
I think what it were, I think I'll be right in saying this, won't I? It's because Lewis, they got wind that Lewis were going to move in.
It was. I just thought I'd surprise him. If I wanted to go anywhere, I wanted to go somewhere where there was life. Aye, Robert.
Go on, I'll go second. I'll mention one. I've got 3 or 4. Hell's Gate Bridge.
It's okay, mate. It's fine, darling. I hope you're okay.
Hell's Gate Bridge is reputed that a couple drove the car over the edge of the bridge. There's 2 accounts, actually. One, if you park halfway across bridge and turn your lights off and everything, the couple that drowned in the river will appear in the back of your car. Oof, that's a bit spooky. And the other account is that if you turn your lights off and look in your rearview mirrors, you'll see a portal, a Hell's Gate, which is all flames and everything, which is where it got its original name. But the actual fact is that they've let the damn thing go to such a state that there's no cars can go over it anymore, and it's even close to people walking. It's even close to people walking because it's in such bad repair. So nobody's ever going to find out whether that legend is true or not anymore. But have you got one, Ian?
Hey,
Yeah, looked up. There's the Dog Boy, an Arkansas-based urban legend about a werewolf-like dog man roaming around the town of Quitman merely embellishes a true tale. In 1954, a boy named Gerald Bettis was born. The rumours around the town held that he was cruel and sadistic, and that he liked to capture strange animals and do twisted experiments on him. His cruelty only grew as he got older, and he was abusive to his aging parents in 1981. His father was found dead in the family home, and his death is surrounded in mystery.
Wow.
ooh. What about you, Mr. Eric?
There's been a lot of that kind of thing where we got the Beast of Rye Road, which is right here in Wisconsin. And it's basically, they say that it's a werewolf or whatever that crosses a certain path of the road, from the field of corn on across the road into the woods. So I don't know much about it, but
Oh, I love it. Hey, Nettie. I got your message, Nettie. I've added you on my Willow account. Believe it or not, I'll surprise you guys, but there's apparently an urban legend about the Sydney Harbour Bridge. Apparently doubles as a tomb for 3 workers buried inside. Officially, apparently 16 people died during the construction of the famous Harbour Bridge in Sydney, which was completed in obviously 1928. However, legends that are there should be 3 more men added to the death toll. According to stories, the 3 men during the construction died after they fell into the brick pylons of the bridge. However, since they were migrant workers and became labour laws didn't seem all that stringent at that time, their disappearance weren't noticed for weeks. And apparently retrieving the bodies would have been too difficult. So they entombed them there for eternity.
wow.
So who would have thought the Sydney Harbour Bridge would have had one?
Yeah, a bit like the bodies in Las Vegas foundations in the casinos then.
Yeah.
Imagine. But you think of all these buildings, probably somewhere there's bodies underneath it, obviously, that people don't know.
Yeah.
They used to say the same about the Clyde dockyards as well, because if people fell inside the hole, they couldn't get them out either.
Yeah, he's same with Derwent. That's got a hell of a lot of stuff going off Derwent and Lady Bower Reservoir. The original story of Sunken Village comes from Lady Bower, and it was an actual existing village. But the bigger story was of Derwent, which is a tributary. That was 2 towns that built up of Irish navvies and immigrants that worked on the dam. A series of dams on Derwent, and they wouldn't leave. When it was time to flood for the reservoirs, they wouldn't leave. So there were a lot of navvies got buried, and that's that. Oh man, that's horrible, isn't it? You sat in your house and it's been flooded. But it was so quick because it was an actual reservoir that would just, they'd let the water in. So it would have been quite quick. And there's no way they could have got out in it. Definitely wouldn't have been able to get anywhere because, well, the pressure of the water would have kept them in.
Mhm.
Like I said, we're a car, if that goes underwater, it's not like these films where you can kick door open and what have you. It just won't happen.
No.
But the other thing, the weird thing, and the amount of activity at Derwent, when you think about it, because it later went on to be the training reservoir for dam busters, of which they do flybys every year. And there is a Lancaster that didn't make it, a bit like that. Is it 633 squadron of mosquitoes that they had a raid, but they got to pull up really sharp, and that's why they used mosquitoes, because they were like fighter bombers, weren't they? They've got the power to be able to pull up and miss this great big overhang. But if you hit it, well, similar thing happened with these Lancaster bombers. One of the engines failed, and it just didn't have power to get over the top at moor. So it came down, belly flopped on moor, and there's a full crew supposed to haunt the top of the Lancet here at Derwent. So there's a hell of a lot of activity going off there. To say now it's sparsely inhabited. There's just a handful of farms, maybe a couple of guest houses, for visitors, because they do come from over your side at Ponderick for that one, for Derwent. Obviously, we've been dam busters, it drags people in. One from your neck of woods. I've got a 2 or 3 left. Boggy Creek Monster from Arkansas, reputed to be the equivalent of Sasquatch or Bigfoot, 7 to 8 foot tall. The first appearance was in 1834. They've made 5 films about that, but that's the first time I've heard about it. But it must be well frequented, well seen, for him to make 5 separate films.
Yeah.
And it's the Boggy Creek Monster, and there's an actual film called that. So I've not seen it. I'm gonna have to research that one.
I think old movie though.
It's possible.
But I know that North and South Carolina have what they call Lizard Man that was like that, where people are seeing. Well, South Carolina and North Carolina have a lot of nuclear power plants, and I think that's what happened to this person. He looked like a lizard, and they've seen him here and there. They also have skunks that are both black and white, or not skunks, but squirrels that are both black and white. Odd deformity.
Robert says there's an old A40 car rooms the back roads of the Isle of Skye was an accident at one of the piers in the car and driver drowned. Hiya Nicola, how you doing?
My old man had an A40.
Oh.
Perhaps it's him driving around.
I would tend to think so, Ian.
No, he's still alive, so I think he got rid of it years ago, but
Really?
you never know.
I'm hoping there's somebody at all these places that I go to when I get over there that I can go hang out with and go to these haunted places. Like I want to go to Isle of Skye. I'm going to be living in Edinburgh. I'm going to be going to Glasgow just because the homeless in Glasgow, they have a big thing where you can volunteer, and I want to do that.
Yeah. I mean, in Glasgow, Ian will vouch for this. In Glasgow, nearly every street corner, on every street, there is a homeless person. and that's not me
Lying.
exaggerating. That's me being serious. And it's a very, very sad sight to see. And most people, what really gets up my nose sometimes is that people think that these people are homeless just due to addictions, when really that's not really why they're homeless. The cost of living, the prices are rising, and believe it or not, most of these people that are out there homeless are war veterans that have been to war.
Well, that I agree with, definitely. That's on increase, and it's wrong. It's totally wrong. This government should look after as vets, most definitely.
God,
Glasgow does have a big problem with alcoholism. They really do. The comic side of it is Rabsy Nesbitt, and he popularised that image. He actually popularised that image as a lovable rogue.
Oh,
but it was
God.
a dream,
And see, when you actually listen to Gregor Fisher, he's like English, he doesn't sound Scottish at all.
I will tell you this.
No, being serious. Right, when I first met Ian, I was hard to tell whether he was English or whether he wasn't, because of his accent. It was really hard to. I'm not biting, bitch. I'm going to prove that I can be good to you. So, I'm not biting.
I can behave, but we'll wait to see in 2 weeks if you can.
I will be. That's because, guys, in 2 weeks we're having Dr. Cal Cooper. So you'll see a very different Lois that night. Probably a sweating one. And then he says it's the same in Manchester. It's heartbreaking to see what's going on.
Yeah. Gary J did a documentary called Human Rubbish in Manchester, where he went and lived with the homeless for a week.
Yeah.
And that was really interesting. He got beaten up and everything.
Oh my God.
The drug dealers discovered he was filming, they went after him as well.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
One of the worst areas for that is Wythenshawe. They've got you can't go in a shop and pick what you want. Everything's barred off, and you've got to point at what you want.
Sounds like Glasgow to me.
Oh, God, that's definitely Glasgow at the back.
Yeah.
Robert, as homeless, I see a lot of these people with top of the range trainers. This is true.
Those are the guys with the Mercs parked around the corner.
I went to see Rab at the Apollo in Manchester. I love Rab scenes, but I really, really do. I've actually got the full box set, and it just, see when I watch it, and it does kind of put you in the mind of Glasgow and the way they carry on.
What's that? What's the woman called that takes part of his wife? Because she's hilarious as well.
Mary Doll. It's Elaine C. Smith. If you like Elaine E. Smith, you should watch Two Doors Down. See the comedy that she brought out recently, Two Doors Down. It's hilarious. I've watched the first couple of episodes.
She's got a stand-up routine as well, just on her own. She's funny, very funny. Anyway, back to the plot. I found out Mr. Moulet. I found him out in Illinois. A bloke called Homie the Clown.
Oh.
He's an urban legend, and in the 90s, it's not him, obviously, is it? Because it's too long ago. He was a kidnapper and rapist in the 90s, and he dressed as a clown, and lured his young victims into a white van.
That sounds like Lois, apart from the clown outfit.
Well, really.
I will slap that bitch right out you. I'll be doing it Hastings. I'll be at Hastings at your back door. I need to find your house first. It's all right, I'll ask
Yeah,
him.
exactly. Hastings is a big place these days.
No, my luck, I'll be like 3 doors down. They'll be like the crazy bitch. The Bermuda Triangle, definitely. Get higher James. There's one in Beijing. It's a bus stop, and it actually puts people off public transportation. Like so many urban legends, this one begins on a dark, stormy night. Well, there's more than a few variants on the story because you know about how sometimes can be like Chinese whispers. Look, like what number the route was, the story in general. A bus travelling late at night around midnight, and it's the last one of the evening. 2 men flag down the bus, and even though the driver is reluctant to pick them up since they're not at the stop, he lets them on anyway. So, but it turns out it actually was 3 men. The 2 are hiding. The 2 are holding up another one who appears to be in rough shape. It also turns out that all 3 of them also were really pale and wearing like weird material. The bus driver apparently explained that by claiming that the 3 were actors who didn't have time to change after work. As the bus slowly empties out, it gets down to a young man and an elderly person, which has been both a man or a woman, depending on who tells you the story. Out of nowhere, the older person picks a fight with the young man, claiming that he stole his wallet and forced him to get off at the next stop to go to the police. They tell the young man that the fight was a ruse to help him get off the bus. Apparently, the 3 men on the bus hadn't been touching the ground. Some versions even claim that the men didn't have legs at all. The 2 go to the police to report the spirits, but get obviously ridiculed. However, the next morning they found out that the bus never completed its route. And what some versions state is that the bus was never found, whilst others claim that the bus was found days later with 3 severely decomposed bodies inside.
So it were a ghost bus. Ooh.
Or a
Ooh.
ghost bus. Duh.
Hi, Kerry.
Very.
But I love our urban legends. See, especially when you go camping round the fire. Oh, best times to tell urban legends.
Oh, I've got,
Yeah, especially if you're in Hastings in the woods.
yeah, I've got loads of stories. I don't need legends for
We
that.
have witches down here.
Yeah.
Yes, we have them up here.
Yeah. You have witches there and bitches up in Scotland. Is that what you're thinking, Mr. Varro?
No, but if you want to tell the truth, that's fine by me.
Sack of shit. Kerry says acquired the Wi-Fi. Are you wired it up to next door, Kerry? Scott says, "Hi folks, sorry, busy with video calls. The Gorbals vampire. There's another one that's an urban legend."
Yes, the Gorbals vampire Lois. Yeah. You, that's what you're saying. You are the Gorbals vampire.
I am not. Indeed, I am not.
Explain a lot.
Reputed to be redhead.
Yeah. I actually survived the Gorbals and didn't get attacked by the vampire.
Fuck you.
No.
No use. Him.
Yeah, don't confuse Don't confuse us with the abuse is aimed at. Come on.
Yeah, I know. I've got a 4-way conversation. They even say that the Loch Ness Monster of Scotland is perhaps the most famous urban legend of all time. But don't.
I'm just yeah, let's see.
You are a gobshite. There is actually, see, if you go to the Gorbals, I think it's just outside the Gorbals, I'm sure they've got artwork with a vampire on it.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Somebody's actually decorated. The Gorbals are brand new houses. I've not been in the Gorbals. I've only passed it, but never actually been in it. Irene says, hi, I was on the bus and a spirit came to me and I had to cross this chunks all over. My kids had to walk that route to walk to school and they thought it was too creepy and didn't like walking that way. But they were being very careful and my kids are both empaths. But yeah, you don't know till you find out. This is exactly it.
Yeah.
So, does anybody else get any urban legends?
I've got one more.
Oh, surprises.
The Black Angel of Iowa.
Oh.
It's a statue, stands about 8 foot tall, of an angel. It's in a cemetery.
Oh,
And
yeah.
the reason it's black is it's just carbonized, weathered, whatever you want to call it. But the legend goes that if a pregnant woman passes underneath it, she will lose the child.
Oh, really?
And also, if you kiss it or touch it, you'll die within 6 months. Ooh.
Well, yeah, that sounds like Lois, but
Oh,
Oh!
Hey, you're right there, Stephen.
It's a bit confusing with it being an angel and not a Medusa.
Yeah.
In that case, I better kiss him then and hope for my lucky stars and my prayers that it fucking happens.
You can't pray, you're no angel.
See what? You W.
Yeah.
But you just think, really, where do they come up with these urban legends? Is it? And it's so funny, as that story as I was telling you, there about obviously the bus stop, how the story. James says he would flog it on yourself, son.
Yeah.
But you just think how an urban legend just becomes like tattle tattle, and then it just starts with Chinese whispers, and then somebody adds a wee bit on, and
then it becomes massive. Yeah. A bit like the alligators in the sewers in New York. That's quite a good one.
I can remember that one where people were saying there was alligators.
And snakes coming up toilet and stuff. Yeah, I think a lot on it, it starts as alibis, to be fair. When you look at them, for some reason, it jumps out at you, it's an alibi. Somebody's been doing up to something they shouldn't be up to. Yeah. They've got pissed or whatever, and they think, shit, what can I say?
Yeah, sorry, Mum, I'm late home because I was bit by an alligator in the sewer.
Yeah.
Well, the first question I'd be throwing at you is, what the fuck are you doing down that sewer?
Well,
that
whole story started when the workers had to go down there to fix the gas lines, and they saw an alligator in the sewer.
Have you not seen the old Victorian sewers in London?
Yeah.
It's like a palace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Irene says we've got a lot of weird new spirits here and you can't get rid of them when they enter your house. James says it's turtles in the sewers with a giant rat.
That's where it came from.
Yeah, but they're real.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
I love Japanese urban legends and stuff. I mean, they turn them into fantastic cartoons. One of my favourites is they call them soot sprites.
Never heard that.
Oh man, the little soot sprites, you never see them unless you're gifted, and it's usually children that see them, and they hide. It's immense.
Oh.
It's immense.
Well,
I'll need to check that one.
It's just like the legends of England and Scotland with the fairies and what is it? Oh,
imps and goblins.
Yeah, imps and goblins and stuff like that. I love that. I mean, there's got to be a reason Scotland's animal is a unicorn, you know.
Irene says if you're pregnant and go to a funeral here, you have to carry a mirror in your purse. If you don't, you will lose your baby. The dead will take your baby. Do you know, funny enough, Irene, I can remember you telling me that in the show that you came on when we were talking about Japanese spirits. It was the Simply Spooky show. I can remember that one you were telling me. The one that I find the most interesting is one in Hawaii, and it's night marchers. I can't pronounce what their actual other name is in Hawaiian, but basically they're the spirits of former Hawaii warriors who once in life protected Hawaii's most sacred people. These people were so sacred, in fact, that the commoners were not allowed to look at them. If they did, they would be killed. The night marchers weren't there to they were simply doing their jobs, which is why they travelled at night to avoid too many prying eyes. They continued to roam around Hawaii at night as spirits, and legend has it, if you look directly at a night marcher, you'll be marked for death. If you do happen to find yourself in that situation, you're supposed to lie down in the middle of the road in order to show respect. It certainly wouldn't be me, because knowing my luck, I'd be getting hit by a fucking taxi or something.
But that happens all the time with the order. They're always the middle of the street.
Well, and that's when they're drunk.
I weren't going to say it, you said it.
Yeah, there's another one which Irene will know all about, and it's the Yuri. Which they based The Ring and The Grudge on. I saw a video not so long ago where a guy was he visited a supposedly haunted building and actually caught one on camera.
Oh wow! Oh yeah, I've seen that. Seen a couple like that.
So yeah, that's quite a fascinating one, because it's quite a big thing in Japan, isn't it?
It's weird, actually. We touched on. I know we've had a laugh and what have you about witches, but all over the world, there's different versions of witches.
Yep.
I mean, in Ireland, you've got your banshees. They are witches. You've got Lewis's up in Scotland.
Again, that comes under bitch, no witch.
Yeah, your Pendle witches are the ones actually that are iconic around the world, with black dress, black pointy Tudor style hats. But Japanese have got witches as well. Totally different. They look totally different, and all over the world. America seem to be pretty much similar to us. They've taken a European view of a witch, but actually in Europe, Central Europe, they are totally different. They just look like grannies. It's weird.
That is weird. The next got a question. Are skinwalkers an urban legend in America?
Yeah, they are. They're actually, there's been many Indians. At least one of my friends claimed that he's seen one. So
yeah,
skinwalkers originally they were North American Indian, weren't they?
Yep.
And been woven into standard American society. But they came from folklore through tribes.
But the Native Americans highly believe in them, don't they? So
yeah.
Lynn says they were holistic therapists, love witches. Same, Lynn. Irene says if you're a guy in Japan, you can be scared to death or die because women were murdered by men and the spirits go after men and kill men. Japan sounds like a riot to live in.
Yeah, well, just over in the UK, they just lock you in the basement.
Oh, you little asshole! I do believe that you're not getting an upgrade in your fucking bed this week, my friend.
Bed.
So
Blimey.
easy. So easy.
That'd be a bonus if you get one in the basement.
Thanks, Mark. Hey. But yes, I do believe that's where you're not getting. So if you think you're getting silk duvties this week, you're not fucking getting it.
Ew, she tries to talk posh then.
Listen, I am putting on a good voice for the 4th. I'm practicing.
I'm practicing, huh?
I don't want to be saying, as Mark says, sometimes I go, hi. What is it? He goes to me, hi. There's a moose loose about this house. And I'm like, asshole. There's Wayne. Hi,
Right.
Wayne.
Evening.
Irene says, if you were labelled a witch in the samurai era, you were burned at the stake with your children, that the husband would be spared. That's terrible, Irene.
Not for the husband.
Well, maybe they don't get nagged as much. You're damn right, that's where Ian will be sleeping, on the goddamn floor. There's one. Anyway, you're shite, you'll be gone in the flare and all. The other one that's known as well is in Arizona, and it's the Canyon Slaughterhouse. And it tells the tale of a 19th century gold miner who failed to come home to his family one night without his earnings. And the mother and the child couldn't buy food and began to starve. When she couldn't stand it any longer, the wife chopped the kids into pieces, tossed them into a nearby river, and died of despair. Her cries can still be heard echoing through the canyon.
Yeah, I've just remembered another one as well from your neck of woods. I can't remember exactly where it is, but they called him the Charred Man. And it was a father and son that got badly burnt in a house fire. They actually did live, but they were so badly disfigured, especially the son. But the son went slightly potty, and he ended up killing his father because he couldn't cope with everything that had gone off. And when the authorities went and found them, he was so badly, he was decomposing but still alive, if that's possible, because of all damage that he'd done through this fire. But he ran off before the authorities could find out that he'd actually killed his dad. And he's reported that he roams the forests attacking campers. He's pretending to be a camper himself, but he only goes out at night because obviously if he went out in day, they'd see you were disfigured. I can't remember the date of it either, but it must be quite recent because it's supposed to still happen.
Oh, God. Irene says, because the kids would grow up and take revenge, that's why the kids were killed. Wayne, just got back from shopping. Nice bargain. 9 kilograms of pasta for £9. Send it up my way. Aye. But there is so many urban legends, especially in America. For what
Yeah.
my understanding in America, and there's one in every state. The other one that I can think of comes from Colorado. Am I pronouncing that right? Am I slaughtering it?
Yep, you're pronouncing.
There's the one, it's called the Ridge Home Asylum. It was a real facility that opened in 1912, and it's reportedly housed patients who were horribly mistreated. Some of them weren't even mentally incapable, but it's just been there forsaken by the family. Though it was demolished in 2004, which is not actually long ago. People say they can still hear the screams and see the apparitions of homeless patients on the grounds. I think we should cover asylums one night. I love asylums.
You
Yeah,
used to be a
well,
resident, didn't you?
Well, the one that Brian was talking about is Ogea, California.
yeah, we got a lot.
If the Thomas fire of 2017 indication
Hi, Irene. Hi, Irene. Hi, Eileen. Fucking taking your night.
California is the
Come
wild.
on, Irene.
Shut up, ball bag.
1948, a wildfire raged in the area, and many people with homes in remote hills area had to wait days for help to arrive. A man and his son living in an isolated cabin allegedly burned alive in the blaze.
Wow. There's a legend that there's a film called The Island of Dr. Moreau.
Yeah.
That was actually based on a supposedly a true story where he was a mad scientist, shall we say, but he was a throwback from Second World War, a bit like Mengele, and he did experiments.
Mm-hmm.
And he purchased this island to do them on. And apparently he used to, try and sew monkeys' heads on people and things like that. And that's what the island of Dr. Moreau was based on, all these silly experiments that he did.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I can't remember the name of it, but
I don't know. But
What about you, Ian? What's your urban legend?
My urban legend. Do I have one? We've got quite a few. The witchcraft thing down here, which is supposedly still going on.
yeah.
There's a place called Church in the Wood, which is the woods at the back at the cemetery. Supposedly have all sorts of witchcraft things hanging in the trees, etc., etc. And
Yeah.
most people around here will never go near the place at night because of that.
Yeah, we've got a place called Wentworth that there's a couple of covens still use it, and that's got a site up there. It's got crystals buried in ground in a circle and offerings in trees. There's nothing really bad about it anymore. It is literally renewal rituals that they do. Might be a bit naughty and have some sex up there, I've never caught him like, so I can't I can't say that's true, but there you go.
I think there's some dogging that goes on up there and nobody's discovered it yet.
I think
Yeah.
Brian's going on a booby hunt.
Boobies.
Well, look at
Definitely.
like Edinburgh with the Greyfriars Club,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
fascinating. That is fascinating, his Greyfriars. There's more to it than that. And there usually is. It's like you touched on, Ian, where there's a place, I don't know if it's near you, but I know it's down south, in Rendlesham. Rendlesham has got a hell of a lot more stuff about it than aliens.
yeah.
There's a lot of things goes off in them woods, and I would like to investigate.
Here's a question. Do you think people tell these urban legends just to keep people away from places? Like
Yes,
just to scare
sometimes.
Yeah,
them?
some
Yeah.
cases, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, they don't want Brian going down there and
Shouting, boobies!
Boobies! Boobies!
Irene says, there's so many urban legends, we still believe in them today here, but do other people realise how they are a part of our lives here, but we don't forget? And Sarah Louise says she would love to go to Rendlesham.
Yeah, I would definitely. Definitely.
I think one of the biggest urban legends is probably Bloody Mary.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Over and over again because it became Candyman and
Yeah.
so many
Yeah.
other.
Yeah. Australia's got a hell of a lot more than you realise as well. To say it's sparsely populated, considering the size of the country. But Baba Yaga, there's all them sorts in there. It's got a lot of legends going on. And so where do they come from? Because really, they only got populated through colonies, through us. Aborigines, it's always been a sparse population, and they're nomads, aren't they? They travel.
Mm.
They've got their own.
They go
they've got
walkabout.
their own. Yeah, walkabout. They're dreamland, what they call it, dream summit. But that's because they lick cane toes, innit? You know,
That's
awesome. LSD.
well,
Well, it's
Where did it come
like
from?
shamans, isn't it? They're the same.
Mm.
They take the old what was it? There's some plant they suck on, and it makes them be able to travel through the Amazon without stepping on tarantulas. Apparently,
Yeah.
yeah, that's some good stuff. If that's what it stops you doing.
Well, then go.
Exactly. I mean, North American Indians, they do the same, don't they? Dream time.
They
Where
used
they
to get,
become animals.
basically, it's hyena poop and something that they eat that's in it, and they mix it with something, and it creates a dream state.
Hyena. That's Wonder whose idea it was to first try that.
I have no idea.
He's saying with them. Right.
Yeah, this is like to try mushrooms. I mean, here to get a mushroom, you have to kick over a cow patty and pick the mushroom, let it dry out, and then eat it. You know,
Yeah,
it's
well,
you know.
I do know about mushrooms. I have.
You
I
can
have
understand
mushrooms.
You could understand the discovery of magic mushrooms, but hyena poop, that's a completely different concept.
Exactly. Oish.
no,
I mean, what
That
it the
is mad.
Beatles, you know? What it Beatles that were eating poop that they ate first and discovered?
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
Beetles,
Could
yeah,
be
I like
done.
the way in South Africa, beetles have the right of way on the roads, which makes me laugh.
Yes.
seriously?
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
You will get done if you run one over.
Oh, fuck off.
That's right.
You got a brain
Sorry. Oh, just a bit. Irene says young people can be stupid and turn out trying out the Bloody Mary thing in the front of the mirror. That's why we don't have mirrors in our rooms.
Yeah.
And Irene says Candyman.
Well, I tried the
Um,
brain and it doesn't work.
American, yes.
but see, the thing about these sort of legends, guys, is the power of suggestion. If
Yeah.
the person really, really believes it and really, it's the same as everything's a power of suggestion. If investigators tell themselves, I'm going out to get something tonight, and they convince themselves well enough, then everything that they hear, even
Yeah,
if it
for
could be
me.
just like a sort of deja vu, somebody passing on maybe, then it's automatically, they'll be like, oh, it's spirit.
Yeah, for me, the biggest culprit in that for me is the Bible. There's no bigger power of suggestion than Bible. Definitely not. You must.
Somebody wrote that when they were pissed.
Somebody had a good idea with it.
Irene's like, we have wild poppies here, and heroin can be harvested from the poppies.
Yep.
Yeah.
We have poppies here as well.
Yes, we do. We have lots of things. Too.
I remember Mr. McCartney having a bit of trouble because he had a field full of poppies.
Yeah. A lot of stuff in Chinese restaurants eat poppies.
Yep.
The poppies that we would class them as ornamental poppies, the massive seed heads. But people think that they're field poppies that, you know, for remembrance and that. They're not. They're not the same whatsoever. You can actually eat them. They're the type that we use to seed as buns, you know, as seeded bun. That's the type. And there's no THC or anything in them whatsoever. Well, there is, but it's mild.
I think Eric's gone.
Ornamental poppies. And they eat them.
Turn the lights off.
And the lights are off. Talking about witches, by the way, when we were talking about it, one came into my head for the Mississippi. Mississippi. Better late than never, you fucker. Is the witch of Yazoo. While living on the Yazoo River, an old woman allegedly lured boatsmen to their deaths with magic. One day, the local sheriff chased her into the swamp, and as she drowned in quicksand, she put a curse upon the town. It's said that in 20 years, she said she would return to the city of flame. Eerily, in 1904, the city was hit with a massive fire, and the residents believed to be the work of the witch. The next day, when people went to visit her grave at the Glenwood cemetery, they saw that the chain links around her grave had been broken, or so the urban legend goes.
Yeah. Did you say Yazoo?
I'm here. Sorry about that.
That's not how you pronounce it, but
Yeah, Yazoo. She came back in the 80s and had some big hits in the charts.
right. So you're telling me she's alive after all this time?
Yosh.
Well, you're still alive after all this time?
Oh, cheeky cunt, and you're older than me?
How do you know?
Yeah,
That is true. Wait a minute, you never tell me your age anyway. You refuse to tell me your age. I've asked you on several occasions, how old are you? And you go, I'm not telling you.
Well, what did I tell you the other day? You've forgotten that already.
No, I haven't, you cheeky bastard. In fact, I laughed when I seen it when you put on my, obviously, for people that didn't know, I had to create a new Facebook due to Facebook locking my account. And it's alright, Holly, you're absolutely fine, love. And obviously I had to start again. So I put up my birthday and the year I was born. And I seen that Ian had commented on something, so I'm like, oh, what power of cheek am I getting? And he basically turned around and told me that I was a month younger than his daughter.
Oh, yeah, I remember that, yeah.
And he had the gobsmack face on, he gave me that reaction. So I don't know if he thought I was a lot younger, but I am.
Well, I thought you were about 500 years old, but there you go.
Oh! I'll still look fucking good for it, let me tell you.
Aye, you do, Attila.
My guess is early 50s.
Yeah, that's all you're getting. That's all you're getting.
I'll crack that out you yet.
I don't care who knows how old I am. I'm an older fart.
Older than me. I'm 51 and Rita's 6 years older than I am, so.
Yeah, I'm older than both of you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're still young at heart, Brian, that's the main thing.
Yep.
I am, definitely. Only thing that keeps me going. My hair's out the bottle.
So you're telling me just for men then?
No, Poundland.
No, well, listen, they still do the same shit.
Exactly.
Eileen says we're all bairns. Aye, but you're a spring chicken too.
No, I'm waiting for it to tell us how old she is.
Me, I am 35 in September.
35?
But I like to say 21. I'm a young spring chicken.
You are?
Yeah, you've just got a bit rusty.
Oh.
Hey, thank you.
But definitely, sorry, I will still guess 41, 41, 51.
41. Yeah, I'll go with that.
Yeah.
All right, you go with that.
Oh, I'm 51.
Eiley says, I could be your mammy. I don't believe that. I believe you're in your 40s, my love. Wayne says, did I hear someone say spring chicken? I did.
Yeah.
Irene says, late August, I will be going to Suicide Waterfall in Shotgun's Grave, but maybe in September I'm going to Suicide Forest. Keep yourself safe, Irene.
Mm. I didn't think they allowed anybody in that forest anymore.
No, I think you can still get into that forest.
Who believes Robin Hood is real?
Robin Hood. Yeah. It's one of those controversial things, isn't it? Because
The thing is, there's places that repute where some of the band of men actually lived. There's places named after them. There's houses named after him, especially Little John. He came from Hathersage. There's a
I
house
think he's
there.
more famous than Robin Hood. If you say he's the most famous one. Like,
Yeah.
if you say somebody, name a character with Robin Hood, most people will say Little John.
Yeah.
Or Friar Tuck.
Yeah, Friar Tuck. He came from. I mean, I've been to all the places, obviously, because it's roughly my area. I've researched it and I've looked him up, and Friar Tuck came from near Rotherham. Oh God! But they've all got areas.
Thanks, Pia.
Will Scarlett came from Lincoln.
She pours iron brew on her head.
That's how you get red hair, iron brew.
That is. Because I'm worth it.
I thought that were milk trays. So yeah,
Sorry, but I hope you said my love.
Will Scarlett came from Lincoln, and he introduced the Lincoln green for the uniforms.
Oh wow!
And there's things to actually say that that's true, because there's a milliner that still today exists in Lincoln and puts out Lincoln green wares. So there's lots of things that would suggest that the legend is true.
Oh, I like Robin Hood. I like the film. Kevin Costner, that's the one I preferred.
Yeah, loads of people do it. Loads of people do
Disney's version.
No.
Men in Tights, I love that one.
Oh yeah, that's brilliant. Yeah.
ID says there's an area where you can go to Suicide Forest, but I will do a respectful investigation. It's safer area.
Cool.
Well, you need to let us know how you get on, ID. Annette says I prefer the Men in Tights version. Was Ian in that by any chance? Nicola says Robin Hood Bay named after him. He saved the villages, so they named it. Wayne says not Captain Scarlet then.
No.
No. He was completely different.
Yeah, he's an American.
Dun, 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 dun.
What you like? And Holly says agree with, but I like Disney too. Well, that's true. Next week, guys.
What they call it? Russell Crowe did a good version.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah.
He robbed the mistake.
What was close to original, I think.
He's actually meant to be retiring for acting. Russell Crowe, I read that the other day.
Have you seen him lately? He's a right tubs.
Hi, but I think, right, the older they, and this must be a thing about older men, right, but the older that the movie stars are getting, the better looking they are.
I don't know. Maybe some. I mean,
I can't actually say I've ever looked at them like that, but there you go.
no, but
Well, the ladies
But
then,
you
right?
feel
For
well,
you
so
guys,
we'll put
the
it that
ladies.
way.
For me, the gentlemen, and the ladies,
Yeah.
whatever side to the veranda.
I mean, Meryl Streep's weathered well, ain't she? Let's face it.
Yeah.
She is one good-looking woman. She is.
Jamie Lee Curtis, she's another one. She's weathered well.
She is.
Boobies.
Considering how her life started, even more
Yeah.
so.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I would definitely say that, and no many folk will think this, but Sylvester Stallone, I'm sorry, but he is weird well. Oh, yes.
You know, well, we
Fared
know
well.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
like,
Yeah,
that's
really
like saying
looking.
Simon Cowell's weird well, but he's had a new face.
No,
Yeah.
no, I don't
I
like
can't
him.
agree with that one. My God, you know, but then again, we can understand it, can't we? Ian? Because what did he start in? Oh, let's see, porno.
Mhm.
Well,
His brother still works in porn.
Yeah.
but
So, yeah.
I mean, I must admit, I was saying this today, I really want to see the new Tom Hanks film, Asteroid City. It's not usually my type of film, but it does actually look really good.
Not seen that one. Not heard about that one.
It's
But
just
that's another actor. I don't think he's weathered well at all, to be fair. But
who Tom Hanks?
yeah, fantastic actor, fantastic. But I don't think he's weathered well. Have you seen him lately? No. He's
Yeah, I
not
seen
weathered
him.
well.
He had an argument with one of the guys at the red carpet. I don't know if he said something to his wife or he bumped into his wife or something, but apparently he had a full blown
Yeah.
rammy with him.
Wow.
One of the best, I think, is Sean Connery. He weathered well.
Yeah.
That guy weathered really well.
Pierce
I don't
Brosnan.
know, Harrison Ford as well. I don't think he's done too bad. But
Oh, I can't
yeah,
wait to see you in the Anna Jones movie.
I know, me either. I'm waiting.
yeah. But I
But
think
he is a good actor.
It keeps up to the expectation.
yeah, exactly. Because 9 times out of 10, it done. They have to use AI because the buggers can't walk.
Do you know what? I quite like Arnold Schwarzenegger's new series that he's got on Netflix. Was it Furba or something? And it's really
It's fucked up beyond all recognition. Fubar.
Yeah,
he's
Now,
a good guy.
being a child of the 80s, you should know what fubar means.
Yep. Fucked up.
It's
Yeah.
Kurt Russell saying,
Yep.
Clifty's
Big Trouble in Little China. There you go.
That was a
Kurt
good.
Russell. That's another one he
Yeah.
is really well.
Yeah.
A Robin Hood built a house in Wakefield in 1315. The Brick Hill, where the bus stop is now next to the Bull Ring Shopping Centre. He was a forester, game warden. It seems he is probably the original Robin Hood. The Holly can't wait to get back in March. Mick Raven. I heard it's not as good as the others. Eileen says, I know Sean Connery's brother Neil before he passed. Oh. Wayne says you would know Fu, but have you seen Saving Private Ryan?
Yeah, but it was first used in Big Trouble in Little China.
Yep.
The old films are the best. I've really went back to watching all the old movies. I actually
And Tango and
Obscure films that big stars. Well, they went on to be big stars. One that I know of that did a lot of B movies actually, science fiction and what have you, and that's Steve McQueen. He
Yep.
was the star in the original The Blob. You wouldn't have thought that, would you? You know, but yeah, we did a lot of B movies before he made it.
listen. I've only just watched The Great Escape this year. Never seen it before.
Gee.
I know we need to get that one in, don't we? And figure out how we did it.
Yeah, we'll have to carry dirt in our trousers.
Excuse me, lads. I'll shock you even more. I've never ever watched bloody Casablanca.
Yeah.
What?
Please,
I mean,
Miss,
I'm not
can
a
we
fan
have a
of the film, but I have seen it.
But I know the saying, play again, Sam.
Isn't it that?
Quite frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Yeah. That were Gable, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to educate you on films, Lois, because it seems like you just have to look
So
at it.
Why don't I just bring my fucking notepad every week and write it?
Oh, yeah, we need to educate you on the paranormal as well. So, yeah.
Oh, asshole. One of my favourites, Wayne says, the original Total Recall. Yep, love that film.
Yeah.
Bet you've not watched the Tyler Vincent Price Nut Island Nut. I know, I'm terrible.
Do you know who Vincent Price is?
No.
Yeah, completely baffled.
Fuck you. Movie star, I'm presuming.
Give me a cue. The Monster Mash.
And if you ever listen to Michael Jackson's Thriller, he's the voice of talks. So.
He does the talking on it.
He does.
Irene says, older Dracula movies were great. The new Dracula movies were too weird. Like the actors were hooked on bad drugs. Eileen says it was
the original Nosferatu.
Yeah.
Eileen said that Price was great.
What
Well, guys,
actor did all of them? What actor did werewolf, vampire, and Frankenstein? You'll be surprised at this one, but he's an original. He was one of the first people to do it.
The original Hammer House of Horror. All good film.
Bela Lugosi.
oh no, Wayne, never.
With a guy called
I've just seen what you put.
Oh no.
Oh,
Human Centipede, never in a million fucking years, because I'll tell you why. Everybody was going on about the Human Centipede one in this group I'm in. Well, I was in, not in it anymore, obviously, because of my Facebook. And I thought, I'm going to look that up and see what it's like for a film. Right? So, couldn't get the first one, but got the second one. Oh my god, that guy gives me the fucking creeps. I think I watched the first maybe 20 minutes and I went, fuck this shit, I'm away. It gave me the heebie-jeebies.
The most gruesome version of that is a Japanese one. I think it's one at manga series. Yeah. That is proper gruesome.
We're all going to Japan, boys, because Aiden says we should get together and watch it, and I will make a great meal with it.
Yeah.
What the Human Centipede is going to make the meal with?
No, you're alright. But guys, thanks for tonight. Thanks for everybody that's tuned in. Next Friday we have a guest. Ian can introduce because it's his guest.
Oh, Christine Stockel, who's she's a psychic artist who actually has helped me out with a couple of cases, which her the stuff she gave me was quite critical in resolving the problem. So,
so it will be a good show. I'll put Ian up there because that's where he's got to be next week. He's up there. He's actually opening the show next week, guys. He just doesn't know that, and he's doing introductions. I'm taking a back seat.
Yeah, you're down in the basement.
No.
Now you regret you're giving us a bed, don't you?
I fucking do regret it, but everybody have a good weekend and stay safe, guys. And then, guys.